it's Shirley Smith with Coulsby West, and we're cruising around Coronado today. And I'm at Crown City Chiropractic, which is in the medical center in Coronado, the late Dr. Don Dill's Medical Center on C Avenue. This was a very cherished center, and Dr. Chris Coulsby is the nephew of the late Dr. Don Dill. And I just love promoting family businesses and independent contractors, just like I am with as an independent realtor. I'm a small business owner too, which is why I love supporting small business. So today we're going to see some special techniques that are outside the box of regular chiropractic that make this practice so popular within Coronado. Come on in and join me, and let's meet Dr. Chris. Well, I'm here with Dr. Chris Coulsby, who is the resident chiropractor here at Crown City Chiropractic. Yes, and does very out-of-the-box things, offering me great pain relief and many people in Coronado. One of the things that people like here that's different from your garden variety chiropractic practice is your active release technique, active release technique, ART. So tell them about that.
Well, plain and simple, it's more of a, instead of just your typical rack crack, see you later, I'll see you 3 times a week for the rest of your life. Our idea is that we can adjust you, get the joint moving, but more importantly, we can actually go after the scar tissue and adhesion that lies within the fascia, the muscle, and how those two systems kind of work together, and how they play in part with the neurological systems within your body and pretty much how everything you move. So we make you move better, we make you do that a little easier, and most importantly, you don't have to be in the office every couple days for the rest of your life, which most people enjoy a little more when we live here in Coronado.
Yeah.
Can enjoy it outside, not in here.
Yeah. And you're going to demonstrate in a moment the active release technique.
Yeah,
on
we'll do a little on your suboccipitals and the levators up top.
And I won't scream. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, it doesn't hurt me. It's very good.
It is more intense than like your relaxing massage or something of that nature, but it is also a lot more specific, geared towards individual muscles and how they glide past each other to some of those adjacent structures.
And I know why I came in. I had some, I was having some dizziness and vertigo, and I also had a surgery, as most of you know, on my arm.
Right.
And so I know what you were doing for me, but what kind of things do people come in with?
I mean, honestly, everything. Let's see, today we saw a couple with tennis elbow. Ironically, both were not from tennis. They were both from working at a keyboard. I see a lot of cervicogenic stuff up top through the neck. Primarily with COVID, we've all been sitting at home looking at terrible posture at a computer laptop that's down like this. So I get a lot of patients that
and looking at our phones.
Phones definitely do not help with that case. But and then the other half of that is you're pretty much what everybody comes into the chiropractor for: your sciatica, your low back pain, your hip pain, hip bursitis, knee issues, whatever pretty much, if it's between your top of your head and the bottom of your foot.
But how does ART help that over and above regular chiropractic adjustment?
Well, with the adjustment, it's primarily just going after a joint. You're going to look for any kind of motion limitation or restriction within any kind of segment. And that's pretty much what most chiropractic goes after, and you just go after the joint, whereas there's a ton of muscle tissue and ligamentous tissues that surround every single joint, and if you don't address them, great, you're back in my office and my bank account swells quickly, but we address them so that you don't have to do that. Again, the idea is to get you out of pain and get you moving as fast as possible so that you can recover and be out enjoying what we love here in Coronado.
Well, what I like about Dr. Chris is I've gone to chiropractors on and off through my life for many years, and it seems like you would go to the chiropractor and it's like, well, we just come in 3 times a week and we have our adjustment and then we get off and we go back again and I'm going forever. But that's not your philosophy.
It really isn't. I always tell everybody it's like there's two kinds of treatment plans. One, you can use me as a Band-Aid when something gets hurt, or we can kind of do the more maintenance style, which is typically somewhere like I'll see you every 3 to 4 weeks just to kind of clean everything up of whatever life brought you this month.
Great.
And it just kind of depends on what fits you. Honest answer, our job, I say this a lot, but our job is just to kind of point your body back into the right way of healing itself. And we do that with whatever tools we need to.
Yeah. And when we're in pain, we all know pain relief will go running
Right.
to that aspirin.
Absolutely.
You know, and it becomes, it's like I say to people, if you have a toothache, you don't care what your schedule is like, you'll be on the phone canceling things to get to that dentist. When we're in that pain, we want pain relief.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people would come in because they're in some sort of
Right.
pain. They have to.
Often,
but you have maintenance.
Right. Often what pain is what brings you in here, but what kind of keeps you coming back is the realization that you don't have to live with that.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of the techniques that we use in here, the exercises that we provide and things of that nature, keep you from having to see us every couple days because something doesn't work or whatever. The goal is to get you out of the office. It's a weird thing to say, but the goal is to get you out of the office so that you can live your life again. And then we figure out, you know, your body will last about as long as it will between adjustments or, you know, treatments and going, yep, no, it's time to come back.
Okay.
And that varies patient to patient for sure. Often, most of the time, I will say it's typically between every 3 and 4 weeks once we get you out of that, you know, initial pain.
Is that because we have bad habits? Like there's been things like Feldenkrais and Alexander technique and things that have hoped to re-educate us in our movement, but then it's very difficult like any other behavioral change.
Right. I mean, let's put it this way. Every doctor on the face of the earth has at some point, I swear, told us that you have low back pain, you need to strengthen your core. And, you know, it's these... Why? Well, the reality at the end of the day is we do things in our day-to-day life that are the repetition of the wrong biomechanics.
Yeah.
And we're not going to change that. Why? Because you have to go to work and sit at a computer desk.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give you some tools to make sure that you can feel better after that 8 hours of sitting at the computer desk.
And not cripple yourself.
Right, exactly.
Because of your job.
By the time, you know, it's like you take the 20-year-old and fast forward, you know, 10 years, you're like, great, you now look like a 50-year-old because you've been in a desk for the last 10 years.
That's not good.
And that's, you know, so our goal often is just to get people moving again and get them outside and get them moving and do, again, what we love to do here.
We like to go out in Coronado. All right, so you're going to show a demonstration on me.
Sure. So we're going to do a little ART on the levator scapula and the upper trapezius for her today. Often it's from people that sit at desk too much, where shoulders start to kind of roll forward and everything kind of gets tight, and we get the proverbial, I hold all of my tension at my neck patient. So we're going to do a little bit of work just to kind of alleviate some of that pain. And most importantly, we're going after the whole posterior portion here so that we can get some of the relief in the arms. So it's pretty simple. Let's have you look up and to the left for me. We're going to tuck that chin, go down towards your right knee, that knee. There we go. Good. A couple more. Let's go up and left, and down and right. Good. Last one. Let's go up and left, and down and right. Perfect. Good. So we're going to have...
Feels like something's moving.
You know, so, I mean, the idea is, obviously, we do an active component. Like, you have to use an active range of motion to shorten the muscle. We take some tension and compression, and then use the opposing muscle groups to pull that apart. Neurologically, we actually get to use what's called reciprocal inhibition. Big words basically means that the front half of the joint will open up the other half of the joint. It balances it out and allows it to release and relieve that pain a lot faster.
Okay.
All right, so let's work a little on that upper trap. So let's have you lean to the left for me, lean to the right for me. Good.
Oh boy.
Let's go a little more neck, a little less shoulders. There we go.
Sometimes you don't realize you're doing that. You just kind of, we're always trying to help ourselves cheat.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it too. We learn to cheat because our brain tells us that we still want to keep moving to achieve that motion, but we don't recognize that we are actually doing something, you know, other than that specific movement.
That feels tight in there. I can't believe how tight. And I wasn't in pain when I came in, so.
We still find stuff for sure.
You do.
All right, let's look up and to the right for me. We're going to tuck our chin down. We'll balance you out here pretty quickly.
Thank you.
Couple more. Good. And last one. Good. All right, let's have you lean to the right for me and to the left. Same cue as last time. More neck, less shoulders. Good. Last one. Perfect. Good. All right, let's have you roll that head and neck around. Yeah, let's go the opposite direction.
I can feel it when I go this way. It's right here. It feels a little bit tighter. Right?
Tight still?
Yeah. Just this one side. It's a marked difference to this side.
Okay. Let's do a little bit on your rumble. So give me a thumbs up. You're going to come across the body and then you're gonna roll that. Try to keep the arm straight. So you're gonna come across and roll down. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. Perfect.
Couple
more. Last one. Let's have you look down and towards that left knee as well.
Okay.
Good. Perfect. All right, roll that around and see how that feels now.
Oh my God! It just went away, just like magic. It was like this was much looser, and then all of a sudden it was like, a catch, and it's like completely gone.
Well, that's kind of that's kind of the idea. When it comes down to it, you're just trying to get muscles to glide past each other like they're supposed to. When there's an adhesion in there, you end up with two that just kind of start pulling each other in opposite directions. So our goal is just to kind of open those up and get them moving a little bit better.
Yeah. Now, positional vertigo is something I've learned about recently, and you say a lot of people come in with that for various reasons.
Absolutely.
And can you show them that technique you did on me? What was it called?
Dick's Hall Pike.
Dick's Hall Pike.
So when it comes to vertigo, there's a whole bunch of different reasons. So we can't use a general term like I came in for this specific part of vertigo. Each one of them, we have to do a screen, we have to do an exam and figure out which one we're going after, what our main causes are, and more importantly, whether or not I'm the right doctor for you to be seeing.
Yeah.
Because plain and simple, often we're not. So we want to make sure that we are the right person, we are the right technique, and we're doing the right things for you.
And you tested me first
to
find out what I had. Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. So for you, it's kind of a mix between both. We have a little bit on the blood pressure side, so we do see some of that positional side of it going. The other side is a lot of times we'll get that little crystal that likes to dislodge in your ear, which is kind of where you're at right now, and we've been able to do a couple of Dick's Hall Pike maneuvers.
Yeah, he says it's like a little pin, like when you were a kid, you had that little game in the back of the car, and you were moving the sand, and the little ball goes and falls in its thing. That's what he does with my head.
Basically, yeah. We play a little bit with the inner ear to be able to kind of try to get that pebble.
Crystal.
That pebble to drop back in.
Okay, so how would you do that?
So we're going to have you lay all the way down for me.
Okay.
We're going to kind of brace your head there.
Okay.
Good. I'm going to roll you to the left. Have you sit all the way up. Good. Now look to the right for me and all the way back down. Okay. Come all the way up for me. Good. And all the way back down.
To the right or just straight?
Just straight for now.
Okay.
Good. Now you can look back to the right. All the way up. And to the left, and all the way back down.
See, there's no big snaps on my neck. Yay!
Well, this one I will say is, a Dick's Hall Pike maneuver is one that you'll typically see in a lot of like physical therapy, MDDO style. We're taught it as chiropractors as well, but plain and simple, it's not a chiropractic adjustment, or specifically a chiropractic adjustment by any means. Which, at the end of the day, that, in my opinion, is what.
7 months ago, I had a rotator cuff surgery, and it was quite extensive. It was the second time I had surgery on the shoulder, so it was the second surgery as well.
Right. So at that point, we kind of make a couple assumptions, honestly. There is a lot of scar tissue in there.
Yeah.
We know you were successful with PT, you have full range of motion, but there's still some spots in there that just kind of get a little hung up, and that's what we go after here.
Yeah.
So primarily with you is a muscle called supraspinatus, and that's what we'll typically do here, along with a little bit of the biceps tendon.
Yeah, because the bicep tendon in here, it hurts when I cross over like here. I feel it stiff.
Right. So that's still because that bicep tendon is kind of rolling in and out through that groove.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll start with biceps, just because that's what you mentioned. So let's have you drive that elbow back for me.
Yep, that's tight.
And fingers too. Here.
And I've been getting a little tingling in my right hand too, which is not, I've never had that, so.
We should be able to open up a little bit.
That's tight. Ooh.
All right.
Like hurts so good.
Last one. Perfect.
Right in there. That's where I felt it though.
So we're going to go after the insertion of your supraspinatus here. So you're just going to kind of go up and out and go back towards your life, reaching back towards your back pocket.
Like that. Oh, it's clicking.
Yeah. Good. Couple more.
Okay. Well, I never thought this would be. Woo. Okay.
Last one. Good. So one of the lines. Let's do one more. One of the lines out of ART that Michael Leahy, the gentleman that invented this, his line was always that 90% of the benefit comes in the last 10% of the movement.
Okay.
Why? Because that's where the muscle is tightest, and you actually get to really use that tension and torque through the muscle to open all of that whole complex.
Yeah.
So often that good hurt that you described shows up in that last 10%. Why? Because you're finally pulling that muscle as tight as it can get by utilizing the opposite muscle groups to try to pull that back.
It was actually my real estate coach, Coach Evelyn. She's wonderful. She's the one that told me about ART because she'd had a recovery from the surgery and it did wonders for her. And I was telling her how I was feeling stiff still in my recovery.
Yeah, we do it like with ART. From like I learned about it when I was in school. It was kind of that missing link for me between the adjustment and the muscle work that I wanted, and really wasn't finding. But the cool part, it really goes with everybody. We do that on as many athletes as we do, everybody else. Where it's just
So you treat a lot of sports medicine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been lucky enough to be on the Ironman treatment team for the last 5 or 6 years now.
Oh my gosh.
And we treat a lot. Like for a while, I was the Coronado High School's chiropractor while they still let chiropractors on the field. Thank you, C Ave, for taking that one away. But it's one of the very fun parts of my practice. Like you get everybody, and the cool part is that the technique, because it's soft tissue management, it doesn't matter how you end up with the injury. Whether you're the weekend warrior or the athlete that gets paid every day to do this, or you're at a computer every day,
or getting a surgery,
or you're post-op, and all of those people still end up having benefits from this therapy. And obviously, it's not the end-all, be-all. We obviously combine that with the rest of what we do in here as well. But ultimately, that is kind of it's a great tool to have in there.
Is that your favorite? Sounds like you have a lot of passion for it.
Let's put it this way, absolutely.
Because you've seen the results for your
sure.
patients.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I've had very good results with ART throughout the years. Let's put it this way, the doctors that do have a current certification in ART, we have to pay a lot of money every year to keep that.
Yeah.
And we get tested every year and are run through the rigor so that we make sure that we can provide the care that we're supposed to be providing for that technique. And the good part is it keeps us on our toes. Like it keeps us learning and keeps us maintaining our skill level and advancing it. So,
ART, active release technique. Those are 3 of my favorite words in life. I like to be active, I love release, and always looking for good techniques no matter what I'm doing. So that's a good one. Dr. Cruz, what would you like to say? Thank you so much. What would you like to say to the people of Coronado? Tell them what.
Anytime that you're in pain, or if you're not, just come on and see us. We're happy to give you run through we always do a free consult, and we'll talk to you about whatever you need to when it comes down to how you're moving and what might not be moving correctly.
And we've got the address and contact details just below. You can get a hold of Dr. I actually had to Google him and find him, but I was good. I Googled active release technique near me, and you popped up.
That's the idea.
Yeah, right in my neighborhood. Anyway, it's great to have such wonderful techniques available to us and such advanced biomechanics available to us right here in Coronado. That's why it's good to go cruise around Coronado and find these great people like you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Chris.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye. See you around next time. Bye.